TensorZero is an open source stack for building industrial-grade LLM applications. It has 5 major components: a model gateway, observability, optimization, evaluations, and experimentation. And it's all open source. Let's start with the gateway. The gateway provides a universal API for working with different model providers. So you can quickly switch between OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, your favorite open source model, and everything else by changing a single line of code. You can use the gateway with any OpenAI SDK. Here's their Python SDK, and here's their Node SDK. You can also use the TensorZero Python SDK, which provides some quality of life improvements, as well as the TensorZero HTTP API with any other language or platform. This is all you need to get started. But if you want to go from a simple API call to a very robust deployment, you can set up some custom configuration of TensorZero that adds a lot of benefits. For example, you can set up fallbacks between different model providers. Here, I have a fallback between OpenAI and Azure. So if OpenAI has a rate limit or if OpenAI is offline, TensorZero will automatically try Azure for you. There are other features that would be helpful here, like automatic retries, granular timeouts, inference time optimizations, and a lot more. You can also declare functions, which are effectively tasks that your LLMs are tackling. And for each of those functions, declare variants, so choices of prompts and models and parameters and so on, that you can later use for observability, optimization, and other features. You can also declare your tools, declare metrics and other kinds of feedback, and a lot more here. Once you have this in place, you already start to have a very robust application, but you can take a step further by enabling observability. If you enable observability, TensorZero starts collecting inference data and feedback data in your database. As it collects this data, you can query it programmatically, but you can also take a look at it using the TensorZero UI, which is also open source. So let's check out the UI. In the TensorZero UI, first, for observability, we can start by looking at individual inferences. So for each inference, I can see exactly what went in and out of those models. I can look at metadata like tokens, timing, and more. I can also replay inferences with different models and different prompts. This inference uses Sonnet, so I'll replay it with GPT 4.1 Mini. Here, I can compare them. We can also look at aggregate trends. For example, for the different variants we define for a given function, I can look at the metrics and see how they're performing. Here, it looks like GPT 4.1 Mini is doing better than Sonnet on this particular metric for this particular function. As we collect all this data, we can curate data sets for different sorts of optimization workflows. Programmatically, TensorZero supports a lot of workflows like that, from automated prompt engineering to fine-tuning to reinforcement learning and more. We're starting to bring some of those workflows to the UI. Today, we support supervised fine-tuning with many model providers. As you're iterating on this process, we can also leverage different features that will help with your day-to-day workflow. We have a playground, so you can easily iterate on prompts. We have data sets, so you can curate data for optimization, for evaluations, and more. We have 2 flavors of evaluations, static and dynamic. Static evaluations focus on individual inferences, and dynamic evaluations focus on end-to-end workflows. So let's take a look at that. Here I'm going to compare 4 evaluation runs. I can look at those runs which combine multiple inference calls, code, API calls, retrieval, you name it, and see aggregate metrics. I can look at individual data points, and I can really understand what's going on with my system, when it works, when it doesn't work, and use that data to iterate on my prompts, my models, and whatever other technique I'm using. And finally, as I'm coming up with new prompts, new models, and so on, we can use the same gateway from before to run A/B tests, so I'll get confidence that whatever change I make actually moves the needle in the right direction. So this is a summary of TensorZero. Thanks for taking the time to watch this. It's fully open source, so I encourage you to go to github.com/TensorZero and check us out. We'd also really appreciate feedback or questions, so feel free to reach out on GitHub itself, on our social media channels, or even on our community channels on Discord and Slack.